What if you rented a cabin in the woods for your dream vacation? Everything seemed perfect until an unexpected visitor knocked at the door. If you believe this story to be a simple tale of a basic break-in, prepare to be kept in suspense as the plot takes a surprising and unexpected ending. Welcome to What a Story. Wen is enjoying a family vacation with her parents, Eric and Andrew, at their secluded cabin in rural Pennsylvania. While capturing insects, Wen encounters a mysterious stranger named Leonard. Initially, Leonard appears friendly and explains his need for Wen and her parents' assistance in saving the world. However, Wen becomes suspicious when 3 additional individuals arrive, wielding makeshift weapons. Fearful, she runs back to the safety of the cabin to inform her fathers about the approaching armed group. Once inside the cabin, Wen explains the situation to her fathers, but they struggle to comprehend why she is making such claims. Suddenly, there is a knock on the door, and Eric and Andrew cautiously approach it. Leonard urges them to open the door from the outside, but they refuse. Leonard possesses detailed knowledge about the 3 strangers, and reveals that they are currently on vacation. He insists on entering the cabin, and to Eric and Andrew's astonishment, they notice the weapons nearby. Andrew suggests calling the police, but the phone lines have been deliberately cut by the strangers, leaving them stranded and terrified. In the midst of the escalating tension, Andrew reveals that he has a gun, although Eric is unaware of its existence since it is stored in the car. They discuss the possibility of the strangers breaking into the cabin, and decide to seal it off completely while taking cover. However, one of the strangers manages to enter, and a confrontation ensues between Eric and the woman. Eric is knocked down and sustains a head injury. Andrew steps forward and confronts Redmond, aka Ron Weasley, engaging in a physical altercation that renders Redmond unconscious. At this critical moment, Leonard seizes control and instructs them to cease the fighting. A series of flashbacks reveals that Andrew had previously met Eric's parents, who disapproved of their relationship. Despite their disapproval, Eric remained committed to Andrew, and they pledged their lifelong love for each other. In the present, the 4 strangers restrain Eric and Andrew, while Leonard explains their purpose for being there. Andrew, consumed by anger, declares that the time has come for the 4 strangers to face the consequences of their actions. Another woman, Sabrina, steps forward and reveals that she traveled from Southern California, leaving her beloved sister behind, to engage in a conversation with Eric and Andrew after exhausting her savings. As the strangers introduce themselves, Leonard shares that he is a 2nd-grade teacher and bartender from Chicago, while Redmond, a Massachusetts resident who works for a gas company, expresses his desire to harm Eric and Andrew. Leonard intervenes, explaining that such actions contradict their mission as envisioned by him. Andrew and Eric struggle to comprehend the strangers' cryptic conversation until a woman named Adrienne steps forward and discloses her role as a head cook in a Mexican restaurant and her fondness for nurturing others, along with her 2 cats. The group explains that they foresee an impending apocalypse, characterized by rising oceans, a rampant pandemic, a falling sky, and the eventual descent into eternal darkness. To prevent this catastrophe, the family must make a difficult sacrifice of one of their own. They are warned that while they may survive the apocalypse, if they refuse to make a choice, they will be the last remaining people on Earth. Eric and Andrew maintain their suspicion that the group is deceiving them and that the attack is driven by hatred and delusion. Leonard acknowledges their skepticism but insists that their claims are the truth. He explains that they did not come there without reason. Andrew asserts that none of them will sacrifice their lives. Feeling unsettled, Leonard informs them that if they refuse to make a choice, one by one, their lives will be taken. He foretells a sequence of events, starting with a tsunami, followed by a spreading disease, a rupturing sky, and ultimately, a world consumed by darkness. He assures them that while the world will meet its demise, the three of them will witness its entirety in this state. Andrew dismisses these notions as nonsense and rejects any involvement. Redmond steps forward, kneeling and covering his head with a white cloth. In his concussed state, Eric sees a figure of light behind him, which brings him to tears as he believes Redmond is sacrificing himself for humanity. The other three members of the group then beat Redmond to death with their weapons, causing fear to Andrew and Eric. They reminisce about the joyous time when they adopted Wen, who had greatly endeared herself to them, completing their family.
I win.
Leonard, visibly scared, vomits, and they proceed to clean the house, discarding Redmond's lifeless body. An advertisement featuring the film director M. Night Shyamalan is seen on TV, and media reports show devastating mega tsunamis, which Leonard identifies as the beginning of the apocalypse. Video footage portrays a tsunami striking the Oregon coast. Eric questions how this is possible, and Sabrina, horrified, reacts to the news. Leonard urges them to make their decision as soon as possible, prompting Eric to recall their journey to the cabin, during which they happily listened to their favorite song, Boogie Shoes. They enjoyed their time in the area, taking baths in the nearby lake. Sabrina tends to Eric's head injury, and expresses remorse for their circumstances. She asserts that what they are saying is indeed the truth, leaving Eric saddened. Sabrina then takes him in the living room and restrains him. Andrew and Eric have a conversation, while Wen manages to sneak out of the cabin unnoticed. However, Leonard catches her and brings her back, warning her not to attempt it again. He reveals that they are also frightened, just like her. Andrew explains that those people are seeking revenge, recalling an incident in which Redmond, or Rory, attacked him at a bar due to his homophobia, resulting in Rory's imprisonment. Adrian clarifies that they have only just met, but Andrew remains uncertain. Leonard states his unwavering belief in his visions, unaware of Rory's past, emphasizing their accuracy. Andrew denounces the malicious actions of the group, expressing their cruelty towards innocent people. Leonard shows Andrew a photo of his basketball team, revealing his role as a coach dedicated to teaching children. He claims their actions are compelled by necessity and the urgency to save the world. Andrew, Eric, and Wen feel saddened by the situation. The next morning, Adrian offers food to Wen and invites her to visit her restaurant, promising to serve her the best dish. Andrew implores the group to leave them. Wen hands Eric a knife, and the three of them stand united against the group. Adrian acknowledges that it is now her turn to fulfill her role in saving the world, but Eric insists that she can leave without consequences. Adrian cries, reveal her recurring visions of her son burning to death. She desperately seeks to save her son, Charlie, and pleads with the three of them. However, Eric also refuses, and Adrian places a white cloth over her head, sacrificing herself. Leonard takes her away, and Sabrina is about to throw up. Disasters persist, including the spread of a deadly flu virus, particularly dangerous for children. Eric discloses that he too has experienced peculiar visions. Leonard inquires about Eric's vision, stating that he saw a light when Redmond was being killed and had subsequent visions. Andrew dismisses it as nonsense, claiming that the news they're shown is pre-recorded and manipulated by Leonard. Eric points to Wen, causing her to scream. Eric manages to free himself by cutting the rope and fights Leonard. Andrew escapes, retrieves his gun from his car, and shoots at Sabrina, forcing her to flee. He then confronts Leonard, brandishing the gun. Out of nowhere, Sabrina emerges, and Andrew shoots her. Eric recalls their previous encounter in a bar where they discussed their love for each other. Redmond approached and verbally abused them, leading to a physical attack on Andrew.
Provoking. Oh my God!
Eric intervened and cared for Andrew, who sustained head injuries and harbored deep anger. As a precaution, Andrew obtained a gun to protect them when needed. Eric discovers Redmond's wallet, proving to Leonard that Redmond is actually Rory, who sought revenge. Leonard reluctantly agrees but remains uncertain about how he obtained his visions. He then locks Leonard in the bathroom, but Leonard tricks Andrew into entering the bathroom, pretending to have escaped through the window. Leonard overpowers Andrew and seizes the gun. The broadcast shows spontaneous plane crashes happening worldwide. The cities crumble due to the plane crashing. Eric becomes fearful as the news aligns with Leonard's predictions. Andrew accuses Leonard of lying, questioning how he could know these events. Leonard insists that he has seen these visions repeatedly. Eric realizes that Andrew may be right about the world's end, but the deaths of the intruders are unrelated. Leonard urges them to step outside, intending to take his own life. He informs them they will have only a few minutes to decide after his death. Eric instructs Wen to hide in a nearby treehouse, and she departs. Leonard admits that he too is unsure of why he received these visions. He sacrifices himself by slitting his own throat. As he dies, the sky darkens even further, and lightning strikes, causing fires and more plane crashes. Eric finally believes that the events are real and that the intruders symbolize the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Concerned for Wen's future in a devastated world, Eric volunteers himself as the sacrifice. He reveals that he saw a vision of an adult Wen, with Andrew during Redmond's sacrifice. Eric believes their family was chosen for the sacrifice due to their pure love. Reluctantly, Andrew shoots and kills Eric. Then, lightning strikes the cabin. Andrew and Wen discover the intruder's truck with belongings that confirm their stories. They drive to a busy diner and watch news reports confirming the subsiding disasters. Returning to the truck, the radio plays the song Eric played for them on their way to the cabin. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next story.